Hello, everyone. Sorry, I got into a conversation and lost track of time. But welcome everyone to the October, somehow we made it to October, meeting for the acquisition SIG. And yeah, let's see. Hope everybody is having a good week. I wanted to cover a couple of things just in general. So the koha-US proposal for a site for next year is available. So if your library would like to host the conference next year, fill out that form, and then everybody that's a member of koha-US will get to vote on the location. It's going to be a 3-day conference next year instead of 4. So that might make it easier for your library to host, but definitely consider that if your library would like to have everybody come to your location. And then there are submitting for candidates for, let's see, it would be vice president, secretary, and member at large unsupported, I think are the 3 positions that are available now. So if you're interested, or if you know somebody that you think would be really good in one of those positions, definitely talk to them, encourage them, or yourself, and submit your name for one of those positions, because that, I think, closes, the nominations close, I think, at the end of the month. I'm not sure about that, but if you're interested in that, definitely submit your name or encourage a friend. I think those are the 2 main things that are going on with koha-US right now. So then, okay, yep. Wally's working the desk. So so I was at the, I feel like I'm just jumping right into this thing. It's like, okay. I was at the Acquisitions 2.0 meeting this week, and one of the questions that came up was, what would multi-receiving, like receiving multiple items at once, look like if it were done well? And that is something I would like to spend some time brainstorming on, because I promised them we'd come back with some great ideas. And so I want to, so this is for non-EDI receiving, where you go in and you receive things kind of one at a time. They did an upgrade to do sort of a, I will call it a quasi multiple receive, but the feedback that after it was released, the feedback on this in this group was that, yeah, no, that's really not what we were hoping for. So I would like to, let's see if I've got, let's see, I'm just pulling up the demonstration site and seeing if we can. Okay. All right, I'm going to share this screen. I think I've found something that we can, let's forget to click on that last share button. Okay, so does everybody see? Yeah, it looks like I'm on the basket page for Amazon. And there are 2 items here that have not been received, and there's another basket that has 2 items that have not been received. So if we want to, I always forget how to do this because we don't do it very often because we're EDI. Where do I go? Baskets. And then receive shipments. See, there's 2 items expected here and 2 items expected there. So we'll have 4 things to play with. So this is where I'm just going to put today's date in here for our invoice number and say next. So this will show us the 4 items that we haven't received yet. Now, at this stage, what I want to hear from you guys is what should happen here. So obviously you pick the ones that you want to receive. I'll pick these 2. And then what should happen?
I would like a button is where it says receive selected, and
Yep.
then it brings you into that kind of tedious process. You still have to go through each individual item for
Right.
it just to say like receive all, because you see right there what your pricing is, what the fund is, and if all looks good and you're checking the box, it just should be like a one-click process.
Okay, so that's what I want to take note of if I ever find a piece of paper here. So what kinds of things do you need to see on this screen in order to just gleefully receive it? So you mentioned the price.
The price and the fund is on there as well as the title. I don't think I would need anything else if anyone else wants to chime in.
Okay. Yeah, price and title and quantity is there. You know, you might, you know, if we had something that we had ordered 5 copies of, but only 2 came in, that might be useful information. I'm just. Okay.
I guess
So,
on those anomalies, excuse me, Rhonda,
yeah.
like I would think that receive all that are simplistic, like one, there's the fund, everything looks good. But if you have something, and then you could do receive all, but if you have extras that you would maybe need to address, like change the fund, then just go back in and change that, independent item.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe, okay, I'm going to write receive, receive all button.
I guess I didn't state that properly. So
Okay.
don't put the check mark. Yes, you're correct in that, receive all, but if there's one that you need to address, like you need to change the fund code, don't check the box next to it for receive all. In other words, once you do receive all, I guess I'm trying to think if there's another item you want to go in there, like you said, Rhonda, like you had 5 on order, but only 2 came in. You would have to go back. If anyone has any ideas, receive all, but then it wouldn't take you to the final screen. It would take you back here. And if there's one you needed to address, like let's say Nash Falls, 2 came in out of 5, you would click receive like we normally do on the right side, and then you'd change the number or change the fund, whatever you needed to do. And then after that, maybe it would be a final screen on the bottom.
Confirmation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you,
Yeah.
could you not, right up at right next to at the top of the checks? I would love to see, yeah, right there. Could you not have it where that would be the check all, and then you could uncheck the one you don't want. You know, my thinking is that if you have a list of say 10 or 12, you don't want to have to click 10 different boxes or 9 different boxes and whatever. It'd be nice to just click them all and then unclick the 1 or 2 that you don't want to have to do anything with. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yep.
That's a
And
great idea, Wally.
I'm going to call that a select all checkbox. Okay. And then
And then Christie, like you said, you could go back to, you could refresh your screen after you've received the ones you wanted to receive, go back to the 2 that you had and transfer the fund or do whatever you got to do to make it where it's ready to receive or whatever you need to do to it to move forward.
Yeah, I guess on those, I saw when Rhonda, there's that finish receiving at the bottom. So like Wally said, you check all, and then the ones that need addressing, you do the receive independently, change whatever you need to do on those, and then click finish receiving, like we normally do.
uh-huh. Okay.
Rhonda, what I would like to see is, for example, if you have 5 copies of let's say you have 5 copies of Nash Falls.
Yep.
If you go and you click on the receive, that's to the right there. If you,
Here.
yes, there. And here, instead of changing the number of quantity, change it to 5. I mean, we could do that, change the quantity to 5 because 5 are not received. If we could just have something there that shows that you're changing or that you're receiving all copies. Because what we do is actually we go in and we change the dollar amount. It depends on the discount that we receive. Usually this happens in Ingram and not in Amazon for us.
Right.
But then I would have to come in here and I would still have to change the actual cost.
The price. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So if this said 5
if that said
instead,
5, yeah, and I could click on something that says receive all, that would be great. Instead of clicking off to the side over here that says receive each copy. I mean, what I also do is just change the number from 0 to 5, and that should
Here?
take care of that. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
But sometimes like somebody said you receive 4 copies or whatever, but I still have to come in and change the dollar amount. But that would be another
Okay.
option.
So let's go out of here. So on this screen, would it be helpful to make these editable? That's easy to say. I don't know,
I mean, that would, if you've received all of your copies and you could change the replacement price there, that would be great.
What happens when you click view?
Oh, we got to find it first. View.
Right there in the middle.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Not a lot.
Oh, okay. So what
So
if you
right
click
there, yeah, order.
order?
See, Maribel, I'm wondering why you guys aren't doing the discount on the order when you're ordering it like initially.
Because
that
we
the
don't
price,
have sometimes we don't have the price of the discounts, the discounted price.
Until you get the invoice or whatever. Is that what
Correct.
you're saying?
Okay. And what's this card thing? Is that like your paper card? Is that what it would say? I don't know.
that's like a mark record card, I think. Like they have the different views.
Oh, okay.
But I do like the idea of being able to change the editable, since the view doesn't do anything for allowing you to edit. It would be great to be able to edit your
Yeah, and
costs or
then
whatever right
you
there.
could edit. Yeah, I don't know if that would work. I mean, definitely the price you could edit here.
I think the replacement price is the retail price. You would probably want the unit cost or the
Ah,
order cost. The order cost, is that the one that's
order
the
cost. Mhm.
price that you pay?
Right. Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
So what's the difference between editing it here as opposed to the receive? You just don't want to do the extra click?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That way you could, it's like, okay, everything's good except for this price is off by, $2. I'll click this, change it to 1644 because everything goes up, and then do the select all and receive. Because then you wouldn't have to not do this one, come back, click again.
Well, could we make it then just all editable? Because I'm thinking like some people may need to change the fund and realize like, oh, this wasn't adult fiction, it's teen fiction or something.
Yeah, yeah. So it would be order cost, it would be fund, and what else? Quantity.
I don't, mm,
I have questions about that.
I
as
have
far as how
questions
that
about
would work.
quantity, but I think if it deals with your individual books within that order, even if it's 5 of them, they're going to all 5 be the same. You're going to edit all 5 to the same price, I assume.
Yeah.
So, and I would love to see if there's a rule that, like, for instance, our replacement prices are $5, period. I mean, added $5 as
Oh.
a hour processing and handling for replacing that thing.
Yeah.
It would be great that if I did the unit cost or the order cost or whatever is the edit, that it would automatically adjust that by our predefined amount. If not,
Okay.
then I need to be able to go in and change the replacement price accordingly as well. Just like I do when I'm doing importing an item into the catalog. I have to go down and change the prices on those if necessary. It would be great to be able to edit that here. But I do agree with the basket. If we're receiving it, why would we be changing? To me, if you have to change your quantity, that should be in a different basket or,
Yeah.
at a different time or something to that effect.
Yeah, so these are from all of the baskets that are out there. So these are things that are available to receive. It would be kind of a brain twist to switch the quantity thing, because people might get confused about that.
Yeah, I do them at the same time only because when I have the invoices in front of me, I make sure that we've already received the items here. I mean, like the actual item.
Right.
And so then that's when I receive them at the same time. I receive them and then I pay for them.
Okay.
So we don't do it separately at separate times. We do it together.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I think, we can ask for the moon at this point because they're building something new. And yeah, we wouldn't want to touch order line because that's cast in stone. The summary stuff is the title and the author and the ISBN and the publisher and the publication date, all that stuff. We don't want to, that's not what we want to mess with. So it could be the unit cost, the order cost. So the unit cost and the order cost. So if we added, this might take a minute, but I'm thinking if we add one more, let's go back to the basket. Ah. Let's go back here. That is not what I wanted to do. Amazon. I just want to see what the difference is. So which of these? This one. Yeah, Nash Falls. Okay, so basket. Yeah, I was hoping there was a way to up the stuff from here.
Can you go? over-
Reopen this.
Here you could actually, if you open your basket again, you could actually edit your fund if you need to
Ooh.
make changes to the fund.
Okay. Can I edit the modify? Okay. I'm going to add one item here. All that I'm going to do same thing. All right. So now we've got 2 that we haven't received. I'm going to do 3 just so we can play with it if we want to.
They added, I'm sorry, they back on that screen. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I get confused. Can you go back?
Sure. I'm going to add
Um,
this one real quick and then. Okay, fine. Our funny money, we've gone over our funny money here. Back on this screen.
Yeah, so a couple of things I want to address. I was looking at the chat, like Janet had mentioned. So first off, I think that when Jess was on our call, she had spoken about the confusion about, oh, why do we have retail cost? And again, that's on the next screen. Why do we have order cost? And can we omit one of those? So
Yep.
I think that's something we should all discuss. But in addition to that, on the screen, it says estimated delivery date. And I'm not constantly, but I quite frequently click on that thinking, oh, I can adjust the fund on this, and it's not. And I'm like, why is this there? Like, do we need that in acquisitions? That's my question.
Okay. Yeah, that I
use that for standing orders that are coming in, so I could tell when they were supposed to be here. Usually from Ingram, they're pretty late. But I'm like, that was supposed to be here September 19th, and it's still not here.
okay. Do you so in your setup for Ingram, you have the estimated delivery date stuff in there, like you expected in 2 weeks or whatever, or for each item? you
Each
have-
item. Yeah,
Okay.
when I put it in the standing orders, when I add them in, when they're announced, like this is coming out
Oh.
in September of
Right.
2026. I just add that estimated delivery date to the order,
Okay.
so I know when it's supposed to be here.
Okay. So then you look at this and then
You
what?
could sort by date too, and you could say,
Oh,
if I look at mine right now, I'll see that there's probably 6 or 8 that were supposed to be here in September, that were released in September, that I haven't received yet. And I go in
mhm.
and check and make sure they haven't been canceled or something.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And then do you go in and edit them and update them? Like if they push the pub date back or something like
Yeah,
that?
I will go in and I'll change that date.
Okay. And that's in the basket that you're doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, as I add the books into the basket, I'll put the delivery date, but it's only for standing order. It's only for ones that aren't coming in for months.
Right. Okay. So if I go here, this down here is what
Yes.
you're talking about. Okay. We can put one in here.
But I have another question about this screen that you're on right now.
Okay.
I have a really hard time canceling one of those items if somebody accidentally orders 2 instead of 1 or 3 instead of 2. Go
Ah,
up there. I can't get rid of that item up. If you
That-
go up right there, there's
there's
3 and I can't get rid of one.
That is a good point. Is this, oh no, I guess we're on. You can add here.
You
but
try to, that quantity says 3, but it won't let you
it's-
change it to
yeah,
2.
Right, it's
So-
locked, yeah. Please create a new order line. All right,
So that might be something they could
okay,
change.
yeah, I know. Sorry, that wasn't for you. That was me talking to the computer. So now we've got an estimated delivery date in there. Is there a way from here? Yeah, there's this cancel order, but that's
That'll cancel everything.
everything.
I think so. We can click on it and see what it does,
Okay,
but
see what it tells us.
yeah, so I think it'll cancel them all.
Yeah. Yep, I think that's right. Okay. All right, so trying to take notes here. On the from the basket, right? Able to delete an item. Okay.
What do you mean by delete an item?
So what she was talking about is
Oh,
like
I
in the-
got it. Yeah.
got it?
There's a way
Okay.
to do that though, and I was gonna mention it, and I have to go create some dummy record, but I've had that problem before, and I was able to like get rid of one of them. So let me play with that while you guys are talking. But
Okay.
along those lines, it would be nice. Like I said, sometimes I click on that edit frustrated, like, oh, I can't change the fund or I can't
Right.
change anything. I wish that I would be able to, by clicking an edit button, like on the far right, you have like cancel order, or I guess it's modify. I guess we can click modify, right? And change it.
Yeah, you can click modify and that will still put you back to this screen similar to the one where you're adding, but there's really not a way to delete from here.
You would have to delete the whole record and then create a
And
new,
then-
yeah.
Yeah, go back in and add it again. Yeah,
So
'cause
that
you
would be
can't-
nice to be able to do that.
Yeah, okay, I think, okay, be able to delete an item. Okay. And then, all right, so far I have a receive all button. And that would be in the KO. Let's go back to that. I'm going to close this. Buttons. Okay, so now I'm going to receive shipments. We'll put in, oh. I wonder if it created an invoice. It'll probably scream at me. Would you like to receive on it? Yes. Okay. So we're here. The information that we use to verify that we're receiving the right stuff would be the quantity, the unit cost, and the order cost. So if we knew that the books were really $35, we could edit this and hopefully the order cost would be adjusted accordingly. That's what I wanted to see is unit cost sounded like it would be what's the cost of one, multiply the unit cost by the quantity and get this number. And
I
then
would
this
ask,
is-
the replacement would be able to be editable too, because like Wally said, like he has the $5. So we have a minimum replacement cost on adult and children's books. And sometimes I forget to put that in when I'm ordering the items, and I change it when I receive.
We
Oh,
would
okay.
also
Okay.
like replacement price.
So it
to
would be the order cost, the fund, in case that was wrong, and then the quantity and the replacement cost or price.
And I would love to go so far as to have a rule or whatever, not like, just like you do, that it will auto calculate the replacement cost. So if you have if it's a certain type of book, like, whether the children's books are less or adult books are more, or you have a standard all the way across for all items, that it would calculate it based on a rule that you set up somewhere.
All right, rule. Okay, added that. And then we talked about a select all button up here where you could click on it and it would select everything. And then you could go back and unselect the one or two that you didn't need or didn't want to receive. And then from the basket, being able to delete an item rather than having to delete the whole bib thing, cancel the order and then re-enter it. It would be nice to be able to just remove a copy if you decided, for whatever reason, too many got ordered. It's easy to add if not enough get ordered, but it's not easy if you ordered too many. Okay. And then, then there was the other thing where if I click on receive, so Maribel, this is the screen where you either go in and click.
Yeah, click every single little square or change the quantity received to 3.
Okay.
I mean, that's fine, but yeah, when we were talking about if you have a button that just says select all.
Yeah. Okay. So this is on the basically a select all. Okay. If the quantity field is editable, this is from Jeanette, would we still need to be able to delete a single item? My thought is the editable thing on the whatever page that was here, this quantity would just be editing the number that we're receiving, not the total that are in the basket. Does that make sense to people, or am I off in left field? Because this is the receive part of it.
But if you changed, so I guess I'm getting not necessarily confused, but where are we drawing the line between the order, because it has the order line, the order number, or if you want to call it such,
Right.
and just the detail in just the detail, so or just the quantity, because
Right.
if we change the quantity to 2,
What does that
of
mean?
what we receive,
Mhm.
is it going to always keep that 1 in the background,
Mhm.
or is it just, in other words, I guess I'm just not quite understanding.
I think you're not alone. That's why I earlier said messing with the quantity might just confuse the heck out of people. I didn't say it quite like that, but I think it could be confusing if we edit it. If there was another column that, we leave quantity and then number to receive would also be there. I don't know, maybe that would be less confusing for people. Okay.
But if you have ordered, sorry, can I ask a question? If you have ordered 3 copies
Uh-huh.
and so the system knows you're expecting 3 copies, won't you have to inform the supplier that you only want 2 now? So you
Yeah,
can't really just go changing at an invoice stage.
this is true. That's a very good point.
So I think it might be more logical to leave it. If you needed to change the quantity, that you would have to go back to the basket.
The basket. Yeah, that's a good point.
And then
Because-
when you're at the basket, I think it would be more logical to, if you had created 3 items, which is what fills in that 3 into your quantity,
right.
you would be forced to delete one of the items because there might be a possibility that the values on those items were different. You know, you might be ordering 2 copies for one location and another copy for a different location. You'd have to specify which one you wanted to delete.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I
Yes,
don't know if that's too complicated, but
it's all very realistic scenarios, I think. Oops.
Quick question. So it didn't, I don't do anything with this except the
Okay.
computer side of it. So if you order something, is there ever a situation to where you ordered 3 Nash Falls, but only 2 of them came in either through a mistake or whatever the case may be? Let's just say 2 of them came in. I'm still expecting 1.
Mhm.
Is there, if I receive this now, am I receiving all 3?
Um,
And how do I get that I have only received?
so
Okay.
what,
Yeah,
what
I
you
I
would,
see what Jennifer just said. Yes, so you get it. So to me, it seems like maybe we do need to clarify what is actually being received. As part of the full order of 3, we only received 2.
right. Yeah. And
So I think we couldn't change that. We shouldn't change that as editable. You should go into the receive, click on the receive link. And then at that point, you decide which copies have I gotten in. Is it the $32 copy and the $24 copy? And then check those boxes appropriately and leave the other one as pending.
mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because you can, and you'd be able to tell what, like if you order them for multiple branches or something like that, and you wanted everybody to have at least 1 copy for their branch, you could pick whichever one and say, okay, I'm gonna, if the bottom one was East Branch, and, do like that and say, these are the 2 copies that I want to receive. And see how this updates to 2,
Mhm.
and then you can receive. And
What does that show? And then what does that show on the, all right, so confirm that. I want to see what it shows back on
Okay.
the basket page.
okay,
Does it put it
So-
back to,
all right, so here we are, we've got 2 items left, 1 orders left. So then I'm going to, so down
and it
here,
changed the
this is,
it changed the quantity up there back to 1, if you noticed.
yes,
Okay.
yes, so that now that says 1, and here we've got 2 in the already received. And so if we click on finish receiving, all right, so here we see, the invoice details, and then go to, well, no, I want to go to here. No, I want to go to baskets. And then if I look at this basket, which is the one that we just received those. So what it'll show you is here's this one that does not have received in front of it. But then down here is another entry for Nash Falls with the 2 that we did receive, and it says received. So both of these, yeah, it just creates another order line for that, for those two. So that's what it looks like. So here's the one that we did not receive and the two that we did. Does that answer everybody?
So I just did a test run on quantity. So it makes sense that they're not allowing us to change the quantity. Because so I added like 3 copies of a book, and on the
Mhm.
ordering page where you're said you say add multiple copies.
Yes.
Once you add those 3 copies, there is an area at the very top to say edit. Like you could say, oh darn, I added 5 copies, but I only need 3. So you can delete them at that stage. However, once they're on order, which makes sense, the items are already on the bib record. So for us to say, oh, let's edit it. I know that someone had mentioned like, oh, I want to be able to edit the copies at some stage, like go back in and you saw the locked
Yep.
signal.
Mhm.
We're not going to ever be able to change it there because you have to change it on the bib record. You have to delete the item on the bib record is my point. And then that will
Okay.
delete the item. We can't just say, oh, let's just change it to 2 now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'll still exist on the bib record. I
On the
don't think
bib.
there's a workaround on that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So it would just be if they allowed you do that delete from within the acquisitions module.
Yeah.
So if you happen to go
They
out.
would, yeah. I'll just put a note in here about deleting acquisitions. Okay. Okay. So if definite, okay, let's go back. These are books. Let's go back to Amazon. All right, receive shipments. So 10. All right. So at this point, we've got these two received down here. So for sure, if we could edit, I'm pointing at the screen, which all of you I'm sure can see. Be able to edit the unit cost. The order cost is calculated, so we probably don't want to edit that. So if we edit the unit cost and basically I've heard 2 things, be able to edit the replacement cost or have some rules that would automatically update the replacement cost, and be able to edit the fund if we saw that it was charged to the wrong fund. And the quantity, there's just a lot of questions about. Basically, if the quantity, if we receive a partial shipment, which, Jennifer said they commonly get partial orders, we do too, then just receive it on its own. That would be one that you would unclick, if you did a select all and then unclick that one and then just independently receive that one and just pick the 2 that you'd want to receive. Does that make sense to everyone?
I don't think the logistics of this is going to work now that I think about it. For instance, so you were on the page like of Nash Falls and we had 3 copies.
Yep.
I'm thinking of an example like Harry Potter, like we have that in the teen section or in the adult section. We have them in all different sections. So let's say I ordered, if you make something editable at this level, you're not addressing each individual item, and you could say, oh, well, maybe they're all the same, but maybe they're not. And so I don't know that we could say, ask Bywater to say, or whoever to say, let's make it all editable here. Can you click on receive? So here, like, so if I click on, before we had multiple items, if I
Right.
clicked on this item, you know, perhaps this item, I want a different budget, or like someone had mentioned, the costs are different. Maybe the cost changed on this item, but on another item it didn't. So I just think we're kind of going into murky waters by saying, let's try to get this editable at this level. First of all, I'm not sure it's even doable because it's really at the item level that we're trying to change it.
Right.
And we're looking at kind of an overall, I don't know that it's going to work, I guess is my point.
Yeah.
I
Oops,
do-
I'm going to
I
cancel out
do-
of this.
I agree with Christie, but I do like the idea though that if, especially, I'm going to use our us as an example, we're a smaller library. And so if we order 3 copies, it's going to pretty much be 3 copies. I mean, I'm going to be changing whatever for all 3. So it would be nice to have the ability to utilize something on this more global level, but with the understanding that you could go into the receive or go somewhere and click on and update the individual library or the individual fund or whatever the case may be. But also, like I said, I do like the globability, global ability option as an option, not as the only way to do it, but as an option.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be kind of my thinking too, is, you know, if everything was cool and I was just receiving one item, but I noticed that the fund was wrong, wouldn't it be nice if I could just switch it from here? But if, like Christie mentioned, if you've got multiple items that you have received, then you maybe don't want, you know, like if you ordered 3 and you only received 2, you don't want to do a receive from this screen. You'd want to do it specifically, you know. This would be for everything's great with maybe, you know, a unit cost change or a funds change. But after that, you pretty much still need to go into the individual items and order them from there. Does that make sense to everybody? I'm just looking at the chat to see if I missed anything.
But I ask Wally, for your replacement cost,
Yes.
do you have the default replacement cost set in the item type table?
Yes.
And it doesn't get carried into acquisitions?
Well, we have not started the acquisitions module. I'm going to actually meet with Rhonda for a few minutes at the end of this meeting just to talk about a couple of things. This has been very eye-opening. So I don't know whether it would transfer up or not.
Okay. Yeah, so that's, I think that is how it should work, but I've never seen it. That will work if you're just adding items when you're cataloging. It'll pick it up from there based on the item type. You would think it would do the same for acquisitions, but I can't say I've ever checked it. So it might be worth, when you're setting up, just testing that, because that ability might be there even before we get acquisitions 2.0.
I'd like to say that for the replacement costs, if you have the replacement price field blank, it sometimes, for me, I have had a problem with this automatic putting in the replacement cost, but I have lost touch with it. Anyway, if you leave it blank, it's supposed to put the default replacement cost into the field, but if you have a 0 in there, it'll keep the 0 as the replacement cost. I know we had a big problem with that back when we started with Koha.
Okay. Yeah,
So I have a question, Rhonda.
sure.
Oh my. I don't use acquisitions at all, so this is all like, mind-blowing to me. Uh, when you do like multiple receives from this page, it takes you to that next one where you have to like thumb through each thing, right? Like if you
Right.
check 2 boxes, why can't the next step just be like a full table of all the items you need? Like this is the orders, and then the next step is here's a table of the items, and you can make your adjustments on one screen instead of having to thumb through everything.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
run that past me again. I want to make sure I understand.
So like this page is your orders. You're saying I'm receiving items from 2 of these
This.
orders. So check 2 boxes, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So
Well,
let's do that and then say I'm gonna receive some items from these. And then why can't this step be now I'm gonna go in and say I'm receiving these items, you know, I don't know. Because this is where you're going in and saying that you have to click lots of buttons, right? So you click edit.
right. Right. Is there a way to unreceive this?
There's a cancel receipt on the right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're now back to 3. So I want to do this and then receive.
So then why can't this just be the table of there's 3 lines like Nash Falls, copy 1, copy 2, copy 3, and there's a
Re-
checkbox that says no, I'm not going to receive one of those. So you're just like running through a series of check boxes on this screen as well. And this
Uh-huh.
is where all that editing could happen for the individual items.
For the
So like
individual items.
like you could change fund codes, you could change prices and stuff for the individual items on this page.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Except if you had ordered 30 copies of one and 40 copies of the other, that'd be pretty tedious.
It would be a big long table, yes.
Yeah.
I would definitely have it selected by default, like, and have your select all checkboxes and stuff. But
Okay.
I mean, it would be still be less tedious than like clicking, like if you click edit on that top one right now,
Mhm.
then you still have to check these receive boxes or say you're getting 3 copies of it. And
Yeah, so you either
you're
go
affecting
in
this
here.
at a more global level than maybe you want to, because we talked about changing branch codes and having varying prices. So if you can't do that right now here, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
They're all this.
the only way you could do it is like to pick this one and then change the price or the budget or whatever here and then receive it.
I just feel like this little modal could be columns in a single table for every individual item, and that would
Mhm.
save you a bunch of clicks.
Okay. I
But
will
maybe
just throw this all at them and they can figure it out. So let me think about how to write that so I know what I'm saying later. Okay, all right.
Did you record this meeting by any chance? You're
We
recording it.
did.
Yeah, so you could probably just send them that.
That's a good point. Yes, I know that they have come and sat in or watched some of the recordings too. So yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I'll just tell her to go look at the look at the meeting. And then, but yeah, those are all very good. I want to know what happens. So I've only received one item here, and if I go to next order, okay, that takes me to Prowl. And then I save. And then it says I received one. And then I confirm. Oh, what did I do? I didn't receive anything on Prowl. So
That's
now-
the frustrating part about this so-called improvement.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you just went from one order to the next. You didn't do anything on the second order.
On the second one, yep. So I need to go back in here and like click receive. Say everything is, and then save changes. Okay.
But I see what Jason's talking about right there. You had to go through it. That's multiple clicks right there of going into different screens, different modals or whatever he called it, pop-ups. And where it would be nice, I agree with what Maribel, I think, said is, if you got 40 copies of something, if you select them all, that would take care of that, and then go and unselect the individual ones you don't need. It still makes for a big table, but what Jason's saying, you can deal with everything all in one screen as opposed to the different pop-ups, going from prowl, like you just did. You clicked it and went to prowl, but then didn't
But then I
save it,
didn't
and
actually
you didn't
receive
save
anything.
it and
Yeah.
and say it was received. There were multiple clicks there and multiple chances for error.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
Kristen had a comment in the chat.
Yeah. Does this become ungainly if you have a lot on order though? So that would be like if this part of the order was 60 items or 100 items or something like that, pending orders. Is that what you're saying, Kristen? Like you could have, we'll place an order and this screen would suddenly become, 150 items long. Would that become ungainly to try and figure out?
I don't know. I think the original idea that we were talking about, just with the check boxes, like Wally said, select all or uncheck the ones you don't want to group, and then say receive all at the bottom, receive selected, and then just finish receiving. And like we talked about, if you have to go to another one because only 2 of Nash Falls came in, then just click on the receive on the right and adjust those accordingly. I think we're kind of getting too complex for maybe how easy the process could be.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Those are all good thoughts. And I'll just share this link because I see we're running out of time. I'll share this with the 2.0 group, and they can take from this discussion what they can transfer to the 2.0. Thanks everybody for your participation. I really appreciate that. And our next meeting will be maybe in November 18. So that's the week before Thanksgiving in the US. So that should still work. And we'll see everybody then. And please consider nominating yourself or talking a friend into nominating themselves for one of the positions on the board for koha-US, or talk to your library leadership or whoever and see if your library isn't a great candidate for the next koha-US conference. So we'll see you all next month.
Hi, Rhonda.
Hey. Oh, I thought Charlie was going to stay after.
Oh, Maybe she'll come back on.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
All right,
Oh,
so I
let
have
me
a quick,
stop sharing this thing.
okay.
Okay,
How do I get to where, get to where I can have access to the demo site? I
The-
asked, is it the education committee?
yeah, they're the
Right.
ones that have it now.
All right, I asked for it and I haven't been given it. I mean, it's been like 2 months, so
Oh,
before the conference I asked, and so I'll go and ping them. And it was like, I had to express my specific, how are you going to use this? What do you,
oh,
to me it was almost, I'm not saying invasive, but like I was trying to, be Russian and get into the embassy or something. I don't know. But anyway, the
Mhm.
next question I had, so the next question I had is because I would like to go in and play first before I start setting stuff up in our site. You have to set up funds, you have to set up, how do I do this without having to do the EDI part?
Okay,
Basically, it looks like what you had on the screen, right?
right. So what you want to do is go to, let me share this screen again. Oh,
Because
I
I'm
keep
like,
forgetting.
because I'm like right now, I'm looking at budgets, I'm looking at the main, I haven't set up anything yet.
Okay.
So it told me I had to go to, I think the first thing it said, I had to go to a budget
Mhm.
in the administration side or something.
Yeah.
And
So
all that.
if you go to budgets,
Mhm.
this is the acquisitions homepage.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to budgets
Mm-hmm.
and in here, you wouldn't have this budget here.
Right.
But you just click new budget
Mm-hmm.
and fill in this stuff.
All right. What's the difference between budget and fund?
Okay, budget is the overall
Okay.
for
So
the
I
total.
have $100,000. I'm just picking a
Right.
number. I have $100,000
Right,
for the fiscal year 25, 26.
right. So
Okay.
that's what you'd put in here. So you
Okay.
put your 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
One more. That's about right.
Mm-hmm.
100,000 in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then
FY 26, 25, 26.
25, 26.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll say
October 1.
I always blow right past this. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to make this active just because this is a goofy site.
Okay.
And then, so we've got that here.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you want to do is go and add funds underneath
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So you add a fund, and what this, so fund code, I'm going to say adult fiction
Mm-hmm.
and fiction there. And then this would be whatever amount out of that 100,000 that you're going to spend on adult fiction.
Okay.
So,
All right.
we'll just say 10 since we're
Yep.
doing round numbers here. And then if you want to do all this, those are the 3 required.
Mm-hmm.
You want a warning. So during the video, we saw the warning, or during the demonstration, we saw the
Mhm.
warning at 2%. So
Mm-hmm.
you could put that in there, just leave it alone if you don't want it.
Okay.
If you want to go by percentage or amount, either one, you can set that up.
Now, let's just, while I'm here, because I kind of like the idea of the warning. If we've been very rudimentary how we've done this in the past. I mean, the director has literally a spreadsheet, and they go in and they just move numbers right and left. So
Okay.
if I wanted a warning at 2% or whatever,
mhm,
and it popped up,
uh-huh.
how easy is it to go in and change your amount numbers? In other words, pull from one fund and transfer it to another fund. Can you
Okay.
transfer, or do you actually have to physically go move those numbers.
Yeah. So right now you have to add, subtract it from one and add it to another.
Okay.
There's not a transfer function.
Okay.
2.0, they're definitely going to do that transfer function.
Okay.
But yeah, right now it's added to one. And I'm just going to put this in here. And then you can, we only have one fund. But if you go in here, actions and edit,
Mm-hmm.
you can go in here. And what we do is we'll put a note in here,
Mm-hmm.
transferred, 10,000 out
Mm-hmm.
and to blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Yep.
And then at the other one, transferred 10,000 in from
Mhm.
wherever, just so that we have some record, because right now it's pretty clunky.
Okay.
Hopefully, with the 2.0, they're working on making this much more user-friendly.
Okay. What is statistic 1 and statistic 2 at the bottom?
Those are things that you can, those are, what are they called? These things,
Mhm.
values.
Okay.
And then you could create, like if you want to track, I don't know. So this is a budget. If anything that you want to track related to this budget,
Mhm.
you could create authorized values. That's the word I could not
Mhm.
come up with.
Mhm.
Authorized values for statistic 1 and authorized values for statistic 2.
Okay.
We don't at this
Mhm.
point. We've never used that information.
Which would, as an example, would statistic 1 be purchase new and statistic 2 be replacement?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, so you can kind of see what you're, what you're buying new to do, plus, and the replacement is either due to damage or, wear and tear or whatever. And so you can kind of, so it'll give you an idea if you ran those reports, how
Right.
much are you reinvesting and how much are you investing? Does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yes, totally.
Okay, so that's what that could be used for.
Right. And you
Okay.
could just create, just do statistic 1 and create an authorized value, pick it, and it
Mhm.
would have authorized values underneath it, like new, replacement, whatever, and then just pick the one.
Is that done in the authorized values field?
Yeah.
I mean, a part of your administration? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, you've gotten me at least, those are the big things. Now I want to come in here versus doing it in mine. I want to,
Sure.
in my real one, I want to come in here and play a little bit before I do. So I need to reach out to, because I think Fred is the one that's actually managing the, giving credentials and such.
Yeah.
I think that's what they
So
told me.
if
Authorized values.
I could,
Oh.
oh, no, this is not what I want to do. I could add you. That would
Oh.
be, I don't know.
Can you see if I'm in there and they just didn't tell me?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I am there.
You are.
Okay.
All right, so let's look at.
Oh, but I've been self-registered. Okay, yeah.
And has expired, so I'm going to renew you. And
I'm only there for a month.
oh,
So can you edit my expiration to later?
yeah, let's do that. All right, date. Come on, scroll. All right, where's, oh, we reordered all our stuff, so all right.
Further down, further down, further down, further down. Right there, down at the bottom.
Oh, yeah. All right, so let's just give you a couple years here.
Okay, yep.
And then do you want,
You can change me to an adult. Or I don't know why I don't know how they came up with that. Any of the rest of that.
oh, this is so interesting. Okay, self-registered. Adult. Okay. And then here, your username,
Yeah, that's fine. Wally DesChamps, I guess, is good.
do you want it shortened?
Sure. Wally D.
Wally D.
That's great.
And then your password,
4617.
try that again.
4617. Oh, so I have to do, you can't be just of anything.
Oh, must contain for including uppercase, lowercase, and numbers. Okay.
Oh God, uppercase, lowercase, and numbers. God, capital W, lowercase d, 63.
All right, that made the message go away.
W, yeah.
Uppercase W, lowercase d, 63.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Then where's the save? Up here's the save. Okay. Oh, this is required. There you go. You've got a card. It'll probably scream because somebody already
I'm all right. It did that one. Card number is this.
already in use. I
Yeah.
see that's
Okay. Put my card number, put my phone number as that. So it'd be 504
504
872
872
4617.
4617.
I know nobody's going to have that.
Yeah.
And that's easy for me to remember.
Okay. So you've been updated, your Wally D,
Okay.
your password as stated, and your card number is your phone number.
All right. Now, so it's staff@koha.us.org. Is that how I get into the actual?
The way I do it,
Mm-hmm.
I go to koha-US,
Mm-hmm.
come down here and click on the staff interface.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, it is staff.koha-us.org.
Okay. All right. I'll go from there and yeah, I'll go from there.
Okay,
And then when I have questions, I'll be screaming at you.
sounds good.
Thank you so much. I'm
Yep.
really looking forward to trying to see if we can get us going. Then if once I'm comfortable with kind of figuring out how it's done, I will want to get with you. I think no, I'm thinking about something else. I would like to get with you about what it takes to do the EDI component, because I think I would love to be able to be a one-stop shop screen for ordering versus having to take a piece of paper from my invoice and translate it into another basket in the manual, from a manual perspective.
Yeah.
So, all right. But baby steps.
Baby steps. That's right.
Super. All right. Thank you so very much.
Yep.
All right. Have a good lunch.
Yep. You
All
too.
right. Bye-bye.